Let me guess. Lately, stress has been creeping into every corner of your life. You wake up with a heavy mind, already thinking about everything that needs to be done. You plan, you push, you try to force everything into place. But the harder you try, the more resistance you face. You tell yourself, if I just try a little harder, if I just push a little more, maybe, just maybe, I'll finally have control over everything. But deep down, you know this isn't working. And maybe, just maybe, the answer isn't in doing more. Perhaps the answer is in stepping back. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is where true inner peace begins. Not in control, but in letting go. Not in struggle, but in flow. Today I'll show you how to relax and manifest everything you desire, without chasing, without forcing, without burning yourself out. The Stoic way. This is more than just theory. You'll get real practical steps to transform your mindset, emotions, and reality. And here's my challenge for you. Stay until the end. If something here resonates, share this message with someone who needs it. Drop a comment below. What's one thing you're ready to let go of today? Let's begin. 1. Let go and relax. You're holding on too tight. I see it. You feel it. You try to control everything, your job, your relationships, your future. You map out every step and plan every detail. But the more you force things into place, the more they slip through your fingers. It's like squeezing sand. The harder you grip, the faster it escapes. But here's the truth. Control is an illusion. You can't control the economy. You can't control how others treat you. You can't control the unexpected twists life throws your way. But you can control your response, and that changes everything. Marcus Aurelius knew this. He faced wars, betrayal, and chaos daily. Yet he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Strength isn't about forcing life to obey. It's about mastering your own mind. Think about it. How much energy have you wasted worrying about things outside your control? The bills stacking up, the job you lost, the partner who walked away, and has worrying ever fixed it? No. Because worry is a thief. It steals your time, your focus, your peace. So what do? Just give up? No. Letting go isn't giving up. It's freeing yourself. It means shifting your focus to what truly matters, to what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your mindset. Imagine a ship in a storm. The waves crash, the wind howls, and the rain beats down. A captain can't control the storm, but he can control the sails. He can adjust the course. You are the captain of your mind. You can either fight the storm and exhaust yourself, or you can adjust. Take a deep breath. Right now, release the need to control what's beyond your reach. How? Start with 3 steps. Step 1, write it down. Take a piece of paper and list your biggest stressors. Then ask yourself, can I control this? If the answer is no, cross it out. Tear it up, let it go. Step 2, use the red light pause. Whenever stress rises, stop. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold, exhale for 6. This single act breaks the cycle of panic and grounds you in reality. Step 3, make space for nothing. Yes, nothing. Block 15 minutes in your day to just sit in silence. No phone, no distractions, just breathe. This is where clarity begins. Because when you stop trying to control every detail, life flows. Your mind clears, your energy shifts, and what you truly desire starts moving toward you. So now, a challenge. What's one thing you're ready to let go of today? Drop it in the comments. Take the first step. Free yourself. 2. Sleep deeply, recharge fully. When was the last time you truly rested? Not just lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, mind racing with unfinished tasks. I mean real, deep, rejuvenating sleep. For many, it feels like a luxury. But let me tell you something. Sleep is not a waste of time. It's a weapon. Think about it. When you're exhausted, everything feels heavier. Your patience runs thin. Your emotions spiral. Your mind feels foggy. And yet you push through, believing that working longer and sleeping less will somehow get you ahead. I used to think that too. For years I worked 16-hour days, barely sleeping 5 hours a night. I thought I was maximizing my time, grinding harder than everyone else. But what I didn't realize was this. My mind was deteriorating. My decision-making became sloppy. My creativity died. Small problems felt like mountains. I became irritable, snapping at people I cared about. And worst of all, I stopped thinking clearly. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." But how do you retreat into your soul when your mind is running on fumes? You can't. A sleep-deprived mind is like a broken compass. It will always lead you astray. Without rest, your ability to manifest, focus, and stay emotionally stable collapses. Still think sleep is a luxury? Here's what the Stoics understood. Your mind is your greatest tool, but like any tool, it dulls without maintenance. So how do you recharge it? Detach from the chaos before bed. The Stoics knew the power of detachment. Seneca advised, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Scrolling through social media, checking emails, consuming negativity before bed, that's an attack on your mind. An hour before bed, disconnect. Trade notifications for silence. Let your mind breathe. Reflect before you sleep. Marcus Aurelius ended his days with reflection. What went well today? What could I improve? This single act trains your mind to process emotions and let go of unnecessary stress before sleep. Breathe your way into rest. Struggling to sleep? Try this. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. This technique shifts your nervous system into relaxation mode. Do this for just 2 minutes and feel your body surrender to rest. Now a challenge for you. Tonight, put this to the test. Just one night, no screens before bed, a moment of reflection, and deep, conscious breathing. Then tell me, how did you feel? Drop a comment below, because if you can fix your sleep, you can fix your life. 3. Start your day with strength. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Marcus Aurelius. The way you start your morning determines the course of your entire day. Yet, most people don't realize it. They wake up and reach for their phones. News headlines flood their minds with negativity. Emails remind them of deadlines. Social media bombards them with distractions. And before they even step out of bed, they've lost control of their day. Sound familiar? Starting your day like this is like stepping into battle unarmed. You're reactive, scattered, already in a defensive position. And that's exactly how most people live, reacting to life instead of leading it. But successful people, they don't let the world decide their day. They take charge from the moment they open their eyes. I learned this the hard way. There was a time when I thought mornings didn't matter. I woke up, checked my phone, scrolled through nonsense, and let external noise dictate my mood. I was constantly rushing, stressed, and never felt in control. Then I made a shift, a simple one. Instead of letting the world invade my mind first thing in the morning, I started by centering myself. Just 10 minutes, no phone, no distractions. A moment of stillness, a few deep breaths, a reminder of what truly mattered. And everything changed. Because your morning isn't just about waking up, it's about setting your mind for battle. The Stoics understood this. They prepared their thoughts before facing the world. They knew that the first moments of the day shaped their entire approach to life. So how do you take back control? How do you start your day with strength instead of stress? Step 1. Take back your first 10 minutes. Before reaching for your phone, sit up, close your eyes, breathe. Let your first thoughts be intentional, not dictated by notifications. Step 2. Move your body. The mind follows the body. A short walk, a stretch, a few push-ups, anything to shake off stagnation and remind yourself you are in control. Step 3. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Gratitude rewires the mind. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already there. And when you start your day in abundance, you attract more of it. Most people begin their mornings in chaos, weakness, and distraction. But you have a choice. You can either wake up and be a victim of circumstance, or wake up and take charge. So here's my challenge for you. Tomorrow, own your morning. Try this for just one day. Then tell me, how did it change the way you felt? Drop a comment below, because the way you start your day is the way you shape your life. 4. Disconnect from the noise. The world is loud. Too loud. News headlines scream at you. Social media drowns you in endless opinions. People around you constantly talk, complain, argue. And when you finally get a moment of silence, your mind keeps running, filling the void with worries, doubts, and never-ending thoughts. The truth is, noise isn't just external. It's not just the news, the notifications, the endless scrolling. It's internal. The racing thoughts, the anxious loops, the mental clutter that never stops. And if you don't control it, it controls you. I once knew a man who couldn't escape the noise. He woke up to news alerts, kept the TV on all day, listening to endless debates about politics and world crises. He scrolled through social media constantly, arguing with strangers, getting pulled into negativity he had no power to change. And he was miserable, anxious, restless, always on edge. But here's what he didn't realize. He was feeding the very thing that was destroying his peace. When you flood your mind with endless information, you leave no space for clarity, no space for inner peace. Your brain becomes a cluttered desk, so full of junk that you can't find what actually matters. The Stoics understood this. They lived in chaotic times, wars, plagues, political turmoil. But instead of letting the world dictate their minds, they created silence within. Seneca wrote, "If you wish to be free, you must first master yourself." That begins by disconnecting from the noise. So how do you do it? First, control your input. Stop letting external noise hijack your mind. Try this. For one morning, no news, no social media, no email, just silence. You'll be shocked at how different your mind feels. Second, reset your space. Your environment affects your mental clarity. A cluttered room creates a cluttered mind. Clean your space, remove distractions, make room for stillness. Third, embrace true silence. When was the last time you sat in a quiet room with no phone, no TV, no distractions, just you and your thoughts? If it feels uncomfortable, that's exactly why you need it. And here's the paradox. When you finally remove the noise, you hear what truly matters. You regain focus, you regain energy, you finally think clearly. The modern world wants to keep you distracted, overstimulated, and drowning in information. But you don't have to play that game. You have a choice. So now a challenge. Turn everything off. Find a moment of silence today, then tell me, how did it feel? Drop a comment below. Because when you master silence, you master yourself. 5. Your mind. Your greatest ally. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Everything you gain or lose begins in your mind. Your thoughts shape your reality. Your beliefs dictate your actions. If you master your mind, you master your life. But if you let it run wild, you become a prisoner of your own thoughts. Look around. Most people are ruled by their emotions. They react instead of respond. They get angry over things they can't change. They chase what they don't need. They waste energy on what doesn't matter. And then they wonder why they feel lost. But here's the truth. Your mind is not your enemy. It is your greatest weapon if you learn to control it. A weak mind is easily distracted, overwhelmed, and defeated. A strong mind stays clear, focused, and unshaken, no matter the chaos outside. Think of your mind like a muscle. Neglect it, and it weakens. Train it, and it becomes unbreakable. The Stoics understood this. They prepared their minds daily, sharpening their thoughts like a blade. They knew that the battle of life is won or lost in the mind first. So how do you sharpen yours? First, master your thoughts. Not every thought deserves your attention. Most are noise, doubts, fears, and distractions. When a negative thought arises, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this true? Is this useful? If not, let it go. Second, control your emotions. Emotions are like fire, powerful but dangerous if uncontrolled. The Stoics didn't suppress emotions, they mastered them. When anger rises, pause. When fear creeps in, breathe. When doubt whispers, remind yourself, you are in control. Third, focus on what you can control. Most anxiety comes from obsessing over things beyond your reach. But you don't control the world. You don't control other people. You control your mind, your actions, your reactions. That's where your power lies. And here's the paradox. When you stop trying to control everything outside, you gain absolute control over yourself. You become unshaken, unstoppable. So now a challenge. For one day, guard your mind. No complaining, no reacting to negativity, no feeding fears. Just focus on what you can control. Then tell me, how did it change the way you felt? Drop a comment below. Because if you master your mind, you master everything. 6. Move through life with calmness. Your boss calls you out in front of everyone. His voice is sharp, his words unfair. You feel the heat rising in your chest. Your hands clench, your mind screams for a response. Most people react. They lash out, defend themselves, argue. But in that moment, something worse happens. they lose control, not just of their words, but of themselves. Because when you react impulsively, you hand over your power. The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew that true strength isn't in anger, but in calmness. A man who stays composed, who doesn't let external events dictate his emotions, that man is untouchable. Think about it. Have you ever seen a truly powerful person lose their temper in public? No, because power isn't in shouting the loudest. Power is in not needing to. If you can stay calm when others are losing control, you stand out. You command respect. You shift the energy in the room without saying a word. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." And what's braver than staying steady when chaos surrounds you? So how do you cultivate this kind of calm? First, train yourself to pause. When anger rises, when frustration burns, take a breath. Give yourself a moment before you act. A single pause separates a wise decision from a regretful one. Second, reframe the situation. Instead of seeing a challenge as an attack, see it as a test. A chance to prove to yourself that you're stronger than your emotions. Third, ask yourself, will this matter in a year? Most things won't. Most conflicts, insults, and inconveniences are temporary. Don't let a fleeting moment dictate your permanent reputation. Calmness isn't a weakness, it's control, it's discipline. And in a world full of impulsive reactions, a man who remains steady is a man who leads. So now a challenge. This week, when someone tests your patience, don't react. Pause, stay still, then respond with strength and tell me what changed. Drop a comment below, because a man who moves through life with calmness moves through life with power. 7. Be grateful for what you have. Most people spend their lives chasing what they don't have. More money, more success, more recognition. They tell themselves, I'll be happy when I get there. But what if the secret isn't in having more, but in seeing what's already there? Gratitude isn't about settling. It doesn't mean you stop striving. It means you learn to appreciate the process, not just the destination. Because if you don't, no amount of success will ever be enough. I used to think gratitude was just another cliché, until life forced me to understand it. There was a time when I lost something I had taken for granted, my health. A severe illness put me in a hospital bed for 5 months. 5 months of staring at the ceiling, unable to do the simplest things, walk outside, breathe deeply, even eat without struggle. And for the first time, I realized how much I had overlooked. The ability to stand up without pain, the freedom to take a deep breath, the simple joy of feeling the sun on my face. I had spent years focusing on what I didn't have, and it took losing everything to finally see what mattered. That's the paradox. Most people don't realize what they have until it's gone. But you don't have to wait for loss to wake you up. The Stoics understood this. They practiced a technique called negative visualization, imagining life without the things they loved, so they could appreciate them fully while they had them. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." So how do you practice gratitude? First, pause and notice. Right now, take a breath. Feel the air in your lungs. Look around. What do you have today that you once wished for? What do you take for granted that others are praying for? Second, write down 3 things every morning. They don't have to be big. Clean water, a warm bed, a conversation that made you smile. Gratitude is a skill. The more you practice, the more you see. Third, express it. Tell someone you appreciate them. Not later, not someday. Today. Gratitude isn't just about what you feel, it's about what you share. Most people go through life blind to their own blessings. They focus on lack, on what's missing, on what's next. And in doing so, they rob themselves of the joy that's right in front of them. So now a challenge. For one day, shift your focus. Instead of thinking about what's missing, notice what's there. Then tell me, what did you see that you never noticed before? Drop a comment below, because when you live with gratitude, life gives you even more to be grateful for. 8. Visualize and make it real. Everything great begins in the mind. If you can't see it first, you'll never achieve it. The most successful people don't just work hard, they see their success before it happens. They create it in their minds before they create it in reality. A boxer doesn't step into the ring without first visualizing every move. How he dodges, how he counters, how he lands the final blow. He has already won in his mind before the fight even begins. So why aren't you doing the same with your life? Most people drift. They wake up, go through the motions, react to whatever life throws at them. No direction, no vision. And then they wonder why they feel lost. But Stoicism teaches something different. The Stoics believed in action, but they also understood this. If you don't control your mind controls you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's life is what his thoughts make of it." That's why mental clarity comes first. If you don't know where you're going, it doesn't matter how fast you run. You'll just end up exhausted, chasing things that don't matter. So how do you start visualizing? How do you turn thoughts into reality? First, create the image. Every morning before the world distracts you, close your eyes and see it. Not just the big goal, the details. How does success feel? What do you hear? What do you see? Make it real in your mind. Second, tie your emotions to it. A lifeless vision means nothing. Feel it as if it's already happening. Your mind doesn't know the difference between real and imagined experience. The more you feel it, the more your subconscious aligns with it. Third, act like the person who has already achieved it. If you see yourself as disciplined, focused, and driven, start acting like that today. Don't wait. The moment you change your actions, reality starts to catch up. Most people think success is about luck or talent. It's not. It's about alignment. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all moving in the same direction. That's when things start happening. That's when doors open. That's when opportunities appear. But if your thoughts are scattered, your emotions are inconsistent, and your actions are half-hearted, nothing changes. So now, a challenge. Tomorrow morning, before you touch your phone, take 5 minutes to visualize. See it, feel it, own it. Then tell me, how did that shift your day? Drop a comment below, because if you can see it clearly, you're already halfway there. 9. Trust in what's coming. A man goes through a painful breakup. At first, it feels like everything is falling apart. The woman he thought would be by his side forever is gone. The future he imagined disappears overnight. The pain is real. The loneliness is crushing. And worst of all, the uncertainty. What if I never find someone better? What if this was my only chance at happiness? What if things never improve? The fear of the unknown is what destroys people. But the truth? Life is always moving forward. At first, this man fights reality. He resists change. He obsesses over what could have been. But then, something shifts. He lets go. He stops chasing. He turns his energy inward. He focuses on himself, his growth, his discipline, his vision. And suddenly, things start falling into place. New opportunities appear. He meets someone who aligns with his values, and then he realizes everything that happened was leading him here. This is the reality most people don't see. We fear change because we don't trust the process. The biggest source of anxiety? Worrying about the future. The mind races, imagining worst-case scenarios, trying to predict every possible outcome. But does it ever help? No, because worrying doesn't change the future, it only ruins the present. A strong man doesn't beg for certainty. He doesn't need every answer before taking the next step. He understands that uncertainty is part of life, and he trusts himself to handle whatever comes next. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." So how do you trust in what's coming? First, accept that uncertainty is natural. Stop demanding guarantees. The most powerful men in history walked into the unknown, knowing that fear would never serve them. Second, turn your focus inward. Instead of worrying about the future, build yourself in the present. Strengthen your mind, your discipline, your skills. A prepared man doesn't need to fear what's ahead. Third, rewrite your mindset. Instead of asking, "What if things go wrong?" ask, "What if things go right?" The energy you put into doubt is the energy you steal from progress. You will never have complete control over life, but you always have control over yourself. So now, a challenge. For 1 week, let go of overthinking. Focus only on what you can control today. See how your mind shifts. Then tell me, how did it feel? Drop a comment below, because the moment you stop fearing the future, you become unstoppable. Everything you seek, peace, strength, success, begins with mastering your mind. You've learned the power of letting go, the importance of deep rest, and the strength of starting your day with clarity. You've seen how removing distractions sharpens your focus. how gratitude shifts your reality, and how visualization shapes your future. Most importantly, you've been reminded that trusting the process is the key to moving forward without fear. But knowledge alone is not enough. Wisdom only becomes power when put into action. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Think about that. How much of your stress comes from what might happen instead of what is actually happening? How much energy have you wasted fighting against things beyond your control? This is your challenge. Apply what you've learned today. When the world tests you, stay calm. When doubt creeps in, hold your ground. When you wake up tomorrow, set your mind with purpose. And if something from this journey resonated with you, share your story below. What lesson spoke to you the most? What shift have you noticed? Because the path to true inner peace and self-mastery isn't about waiting, it's about acting, starting now.